Hello everyone and welcome to week 15. This is going to be a video that basically goes over some potentials for your final project. I call them potentials for a couple reasons. One is that I'm going to be showing you how to use video files. It's not a requirement per se for your final project, but like the sort of introduction of sound earlier in the semester, I think it adds sort of texture, it adds potential and possibility in terms of how your animate file is going to look. So I'm going to show you how that works. I'm also going to show you how to edit sound a little bit. We've had a few instances where people have put sound in and maybe the sound is too long or maybe they want to fade it out, and I'm going to show you how to use the properties tab to sort of edit sound. It's a little more simple than you might think. So again, this is not an exercise. This is simply something that I want to show you. You should be looking at the week 15 file to sort of note what you have to do this week. It's the final push here. You should be thinking very intently and working very intently on your final project. You'll see that there's a draft of this due next week that's going to give you some easy points, hopefully, and this sort of keeps you on track for your final project. So without further ado, let's take a look. You'll see over here I have three things. One, I have what's called, and it might be difficult to see, but it says clouds.flv. This is a video file, okay? And it's a video file that is a certain amount of frames and a frame rate, and it's something I've basically created, and I'm going to show you how I created that. I want you to note that right here it says 800 by 600. That's important. That's important because videos like images and other sort of visual digital files have sizes. They have pixel dimensions, just like your animate file. Now, I got this clouds video. I can't remember. I think maybe I took it, or I've had it for years, so I don't quite remember. But it's just basically clouds going by. Okay, it's a very simple video. It lasts for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. And I use it sort of as textural elements. Now, I want to sort of talk about this sort of textural elements, or, sort of setting the scene. You're not to use video in any regard that is along the lines of, I'm going to take a video of someone doing something for 30 seconds, convert it to a flash video of FLV, pop it in my animate, and there I have a project. That is not what we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about using video, and if you remember in the belly video, the Julia Pott video, there were some waves lapping up on the shore. That was one instance where video is used to sort of create atmosphere. A lot of you noted, I think, that it looked really realistic. That's because it was video. But it's sort of incorporated with other animated type files, and I think that's sort of an interesting juxtaposition. So, how did I get this clouds.flv? Let's take a look. In excuse me, in the week 15 sort of module here. There'll be more when I'm done this, but right now we have two things. We have this clouds.flv, which I gave you if you want to sort of use it for practice. Don't use it for your project. But we also have this video converter. This is a website that basically will convert most video files, and I say most. I don't know what your phones use. I don't know what the funky camera you've got uses, etc. Most video files to FLV. FLV is the flash video. It still uses that old naming device that Flash wants to sort of deal with video. Now we need to get video from something, an MP4, an AVI, I don't know, different video files. We have tons of different potentials over here, and you basically choose the file and then choose where you want it to go. You're going to sort of put it somewhere on a Google Drive or on your desktop or whatever, and then you're going to sort of type in some things here. And it says change the screen size. If you want to make this 800 by 600 because that's what your file is, you might type in 800 by 600 here. You might not, you probably won't want to change the video bit rate, probably don't want to change the audio, and you basically convert the file. Okay, this is a free service, and I'm not going to go too much into this because different, video files sort of take it's going to work a little bit differently. I trust that you guys are savvy enough at this point to sort of work something like this. Okay. Again, I would sort of encourage you to use video as sort of textural stuff. So yeah, take a video of snow falling. Take a video of leaves in a tree. Who knows? That adds to the sort of scene within your movie. So that is in there. I've already done that. I've already converted this clouds video, which I think was an MP4 or something, or an MPEG. I'm not quite sure. And I converted it to clouds.flv. Okay. So let's take a look at what we're going to do here. Basically, I have a few things. I have this tree. I have the clouds video, and I have a wind noise. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a very simple scene that is basically the clouds going by, the tree in the front, and the wind going by. So I'm going to stop the video for a second. I'm going to convert my tree to a graphic. Okay, I've taken a tree.png, a raster file. I've turned it into a graphic. I've trace bitmapped it. You'll see that it's sort of a vector tree now. Okay. So I'm going to go to my scene, and I'm going to say stay super organized, as you should be, because in this case I'm going to have very different things. I'm going to have a still graphic, this tree. I'm going to have video, and I'm going to have sound. Specifically, the video and sound sort of needs its own layer because we want to manipulate that. So I'm going to just name this tree. All right. Oops. And I'm going to pop it down. So big, scale it, and I'm going to kind of have it off to the left-hand side here. All right, have it sitting on the bottom. All right, so I have a tree, pretty boring background there with that white background. I want to sort of bring in the video now. So I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to click on that first keyframe. I'm going to call this clouds video because I want to make sure I keep organized. And now I'm going to go over to my clouds.flv. Now, this thing already has a time on it. It already, it's sort of a standalone video. It's going to ask me a few things when I grab it and drop it down here. And it says this video requires 671 frames to display its entire length. The selected time span is not long enough. What it means is I've only selected one keyframe. It says, do you want the required number of frames automatically inserted into the timeline span? Yes, I want that. Okay. Now, this thing is a little bigger than my file. I can now size this thing. It's a native to animate or flash because it's a FLV video. So it can sort of be adjusted. It can be, all sorts of things. We can rotate it. There's lots of things we can do with this. Now, this thing became a layer. I went on top of my trees. I'm going to sort of make this pop under it just by grabbing that layer. Okay. Now, you'll see that my tree only exists for that very short period of time. I'm just going to go up way up here to 600, and we'll see sort of 671. And you can see what's wonderful about it is it sort of shows you a preview. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm just basically going to insert a frame. Okay, so now we can sort of see that in action. All right. So before we deal with the sound, let's take a look at this thing. So we can go to Test Movie and Animate. And here we go. Okay. You'll see that the video is a little pixelated. This wasn't a great quality video. That's going to vary depending on your original source, but I think it adds nice textural elements. I have a very simple sort of thing here, just the tree. If you have other animated things going on, a bird flying, who knows? This is a nice textural element. I can't stress enough. You are not to video your friend, swimming the length of the pool and then calling that your final project. That will not be appropriate in relation to what we're doing. We want to animate on top of this. We want to have vector graphics. We want to sort of embrace, the things we've done this semester in our final project. So at this point, let's sort of take a look at the sound. So I have very simple things here. I have a video, I have a still image. Let's insert another layer. I'm going to call this sound. and I'm going to click on that first keyframe. I have a wind.wave. This is a free sound effect I got. And as you know from sound, we can just sort of drop it down here. And it basically will sort of populate that entire area. This is a fairly long sound, so it's going to go all the way to that end. Now, I want you to sort of note the fact that, you know, this sound is long and it goes all the way to here. Okay, we can sort of fade that sound out, and that's what I want to do. Before we do that, let's test this movie, and we'll sort of see in here. It's pretty loud, and I want to sort of adjust this. Okay, so I'm going to click. Hold on a second. I'm going to set something up. All right, I'm going to click really anywhere in here. I'm going to go all the way to the end, actually. And I want to show you something about the properties of this. So I'm going to click 600 or so. Now, when you click over in the properties, you'll see that you have sort of sound, okay, and it's saying the wind1.wave. I want to fade it out, okay, and this is an option that I can sort of assign to that particular sound. So I'm going to fade out, and then there's this little pencil right here, and this is what's called an edit envelope. This is a really awesome little tool here, and it's basically showing us the sound over, in this case, it's seconds, okay? You'll see if I click on this little clock down here, it shows this thing in seconds, okay? Now, we can do a few things. I can sort of actually lower the actual volume of this thing by clicking on those little anchor points. I can have it sort of slowly fade out. Say I want to, and I'm going to sort of find where it starts to fade out. Excuse me. Okay. I can take this and I can drag this way down here. Okay. You'll note that I can zoom out. So you'll see that this is over the entire 50 seconds. I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay. And I can sort of drag this so I fade out. Okay. And it'll sort of show you this is the left and right channel. If you know anything about sound, sound is generally in two sort of speakers or channels, and it sort of sees that potentially I want to sort of fade that sound out eventually. So I have the sound sort of, I lowered the volume, I go along for 40 seconds or so, and then I fade it out. Okay, that is sort of along the lines with sort of the last, let's see here, in this case, 47, you know, last 10 seconds of the video. So I can alter this, I can do whatever I want. If I want that to, if I want the sound to continue a little bit longer, I can sort of move these things back up. I can, you know, we can do all sorts of things. You can play this sound to sort of see where the fade in, fade out sort of happens. Okay. So again, coming to the end of the video here, the idea behind this is again sort of, you know, adding potential visual aspects to your videos, to your movies, including video, and then sort of editing that sound. Again, this is not an exercise. I would hope you sort of just watch this and think about it as an opportunity for your final project. Most of the things I've sort of shown you were exercises we've done because they're kind of a skill you need to acquire to sort of be successful in this class. Hopefully, we are comfortable in Animate now and have an idea, and we should have an idea by tonight, of what our final project is going to be. Yeah, take a look at week 15. There are a few things to do, a few notes. I'm not going to go over them here. I'm more succinct and accurate, I think, on those files. So please take a look at that and email me with any questions.